Welcome once more to the Jamaican cooking journey. If you're new here, it's always a pleasure having you, and if you're an oldie but goodie, manners and respect. On today's video, we are going to be making a little bread pudding. We're not going to be using any oven, we're going to be steaming a bread pudding. And I'm going to be doing it a little different from the others that I've done. So we leave the link. I think we have 1 or 2 other bread puddings. You can go check them out. So right on over here, I'm going to introduce you to my ingredients. I have here 6 slices of whole wheat bread. You could use white bread or any other bread. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slices of bread that I'm using whole wheat. I have about 3 tablespoons of dried raisins. I have a cup of sugar, and I don't think I'll be using all. I have 2 cups of milk. I have 2 tablespoons of butter, real butter, and I'm going to be stopping right here to leave it to melt. You can put it in your microwave, so I'm going to use it on that low heat. I've got here 2 eggs. I've got my cinnamon powder. I've got some vanilla, and I have got here my nutmeg. My nutmeg is here. This is a grater, but the nutmeg and the cupboard, they are the same color, so I can't find the nutmeg yet, but okay, this is my nutmeg. And of course we're gonna use a little salt. We got a little tip of the good old Jamaican whites. We're gonna use it to balance out that little rawness in the egg. So the first thing I'm gonna do, and I hope I gave you all the ingredients. I'll list them as you go along. You can just slow down your screen and get it. What I want to do, I want to remove the edges of the bread. So I want to show you. Cover it in and this. Make them see we are remove the edges of the bread. And that's what I'm using. I'm gonna be removing the edges too, very sparingly. Me now waste my bread. Okay? I'm gonna remove it very sparing. So this now, if you're making meatloaf, you can freeze it, or you can get it all crisp up, and you can just have your own little breadcrumbs and just put it in your food processor, your little grinder, and have your little breadcrumbs. And look here, you could leave your butter is melted. You could also leave your ends on. You don't have to. I'm gonna cube up these bread. Cube them up in small cubes. They're so soft. So we're gonna just get them all cubed up. So we cut them straight like this, and these bread are so soft, but it doesn't matter. And then we're gonna cut them back across again, and then we're gonna have them in this bowl, and we show you what they look like in the next clip. So 6 slices of bread, well cubed. Use your bread of choice, and you could use your homemade bread too. It doesn't matter. We've got 2 eggs here. If you have large eggs, you can use 1 only. We're gonna whip them until they're like almost frothy. So we got our eggs all whisked, and we're gonna throw, not all, maybe. This is almond milk I'm using. Feel free to use your milk of choice. So I'm gonna mix it in right there with the 2 eggs. I'm also gonna be using about 3/4 of the sugar. I won't be using all. I'm gonna be dissolving my sugar in there. I'm gonna be putting 1 teaspoon. I leave all the ingredients and their proportionate measurements, so you have to slow down the screen. 1 teaspoon of salt, and we are gonna mix this. Also, we're gonna put in about 2 tablespoons, 1, 2 of vanilla. So those are all our liquid. Okay, we have got here our 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And that would be real butter. If you have margarine, feel free to use it. Or a little liquor to take away that little, from the egg. And we're gonna pour it right over our bread pieces at this point. So, and this smells so nice. We're gonna leave it in there for all the pieces of bread to come softened And when we return, we're going to be adding our cinnamon powder, and we're going to be adding our little dry raisins. Next clip. And grate on. I did say that I'm going to steam it. So right here I have this real heavy bottom skillet. So I'm going to pour in there some water, and I'm going to leave it to come to a boil. Let's grate our nutmeg, and I'm going to be grating about a half of this nutmeg, which is just equal to about 2 little thing. I don't use a lot of nutmeg, you know, because I know I'm not supposed to. I know I'm not supposed to. Oh no, just no. I've talked about it so many times, and I really don't want to get back into it again, because to each of us our own. Some people do what they want to do, so you can't always be telling people. So I'm sorry about that. I'm going to be putting in about less than a tablespoon, but a little bit more than a teaspoon of cinnamon. I don't want to go too much with the cinnamon either. Okay, so you see I had a very small nutmeg, and I used about a half or 3/4 of it. So our bread, just mopped up all of that. Yeah. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna get into, I'm gonna be adding the raisins last. I'm gonna get this in my blender. So this is our mixture, and we have our pan. It is the detachable one that you push up when it's ready. So we have it here all grease and lime, and the reason why I left a little of the milk is because I knew that I would need a little to put in here. So we're gonna put it in our blender, not all, probably. Yes, we can put all of it, and we're gonna blend it out. So I'll blend it, and we're gonna put our bread pudding mixture right in here. I'm pouring a half, and I'm gonna sprinkle some of these dry raisins. Pour in another half over it. You could mix them in, so I just did that. You could mix them in. Now with our water and the boil, we're gonna cover this with a piece of foil wrap. So because we're using our detachable pan or the flathead pan, we're gonna be covering up part of our pan from the bottom with the foil wrap as to secure it. We did really grease it, but we're still gonna put a piece of the foil to the side. Now we're gonna put another piece to the top. With the sheen side down, we're gonna secure this baby good, because we're gonna steam it. We don't want any water getting in there. You could also, if you want to, tie it to be secured or to be sure with a piece of kitchen twine. So we can easily well do that. Huh? So our water is coming to a boil. You see that? Yeah, and you don't want it to be coming to a rapid boil. You want to have the water. You don't want to have it coming up way up to the top. So you want to have it, and you want to put your pan down in there. You see that? Shoot them up on that. The water must not come up. It must just have enough play to reach about a half or a quarter, because the foil paper is covered down, and it will trap the steam in there, and it is there to the bottom. So we are gonna leave. So now it's coming to a boil. We have put it in there, and it's come to a boil already. You can see in there the water is there. You want to have this water and the medium. You want to make sure you cover your container. There should be no vent at the top here, so all the steam will be locked in. You want to set your timer for about 45 to 50 minutes, or maybe to an hour. And on the medium, check if your water is evaporating or is drying out. If it is, refill it to that same level with hot water. Timer, Alexa, set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Next clip. So what I did cooking from, I should have showed you. Still have a little hole before I pull it. I use my tester. to poke through here. And then my tester came out clean, and then I did just cut it. So you can see it's ready. This was just the steam from the top. You can see it's pulling away from the sides. We're gonna leave it now to cool. We're gonna leave it on a wire rack, and this is the remainder of my container. I did have to put a little more hot water though, as I told you. Hot water. My water came down low, so I did put a little more. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave it now on a wire rack. We're gonna pull away the foil from the bottom, and I'm gonna place it on a wire rack, and I'm gonna leave it to cool for about another 45 minutes, and then we'll come back to show you this bread pudding. So we have cooled down our bread pudding, and I told you my pan was like this, my pan. So I'm just gonna gently push it up. Oops. And this is the bottom here. So ooh, I'll just put it right on here on the plate. You can really let's get it. It's not properly cool though, you know. It's not properly cool, but I want to show you. Remember, this is just whole wheat bread pudding. So I'm gonna show you what a slice looks like. It's still on the bottom there. I have to get my little thingy here, this little thing. So I'm taking it now off the bottom. I hope you're seeing. It's my raisins on top. I'll get this clean slice. Whole wheat bread pudding. And we have the bottom of the pan here. I want to taste a piece. I've got me here some Hershey's syrup, and just gonna put some on it. So here we go, cooking fam. Taste test. As always, the proof of any pudding is, our pie is in the eating. So I'm gonna taste for you with this Hershey's chocolate syrup. And you can service it whatever you want. This could be nice with jello. Oh God. This is so good. All wheat steamed bread pudding. If you have liked this video, remember to give me a big fat thumbs up. Remember to make sure that you're subscribed to the Jamaican Cooking Journey. Leave me a comment below. Check in the description if there is anything you need. Remember, we have got our Amazon storefront. We have got our Patreon page. We have got all the other links that you need to get onto me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for loving. Thanks for supporting. And remember, please try it and do enjoy.